When did you first hear about it? Or were you just getting a call yesterday and you're like, holy cow, what the hell?
I'll tell you a funny story. I actually was picking up my daughter from school yesterday because I got back. I was in Ann Arbor on Monday, there for some meetings, some business, and I saw Coach Harbaugh there, talked to him a little bit, but got back on Tuesday, hadn't seen my daughter in, 10 days, and went to go pick her up at school at 5 o'clock and said, Dylan, good news. Don't have to work the next couple of days. Nice and quiet. And so as we were driving back, I got a call from somebody. They said, hey, is something going on with Josh McDaniels? And I said, well, it was. He was vacillating a couple of weeks ago, but not now. And they said, I'm not so sure about that. And I said, okay. And so you begin to make some calls. You get more information. Next thing you know, you find out, yes, he has or is about to tell the Colts that he's pulling out from the head coaching agreement they had. And so I literally got home and went into my office, and at 10 o'clock last night, I went upstairs to say goodnight to my daughter. She said, Dad, I thought you said you don't have to work the next couple of weeks. So that's what that was like there, Rich.
Yeah, man, that's the life of an NFL insider. That's the top of the profession like you, brother. So, okay, what was McDaniels told in that room? But between Kraft and Belichick, did they tell him he's the next coach when Bill's done?
Well, they can't do that because it would be a violation of the Rooney Rule. Okay, I mean, but listen, if he's going to stick around, the biggest thing that came out of that was, I think that they expressed how much he means to the organization, how big a role he can have in the future, things he could do. Let's sweeten your contract now. And again, when you're doing this to a man who already had questions about whether or not he should go, who didn't know what it would be like to move to a city, who didn't want to have to move his 4 kids, who didn't know the connection he'd have to the GM or the owner. I mean, there were a lot of questions he had, and the Colts did their best job to answer them. I mean, the second meeting, that's the reason that Jim Irsay came to Foxborough to meet with Josh McDaniels, because he was not convinced at that point in time that he wanted to go. He needed to be sold more. And I think at the end, the Patriots recognized that, and from the time they got back from the Super Bowl, they acted upon that, and they made him feel wanted and loved and appreciated.
What, monetarily?
Yes, absolutely. They sweetened his contract. And so you can do that, and they did do that, or they're going to do that, but they have an agreement to do that. So that's going to get done, and they're going to keep him in place. The issue with promising him that he's going to succeed Bill Belichick, aside from it being a Rooney Rule violation, is the fact that, do any of us know how much longer Bill Belichick is going to coach for?
Well, that's part of the question about what happened in that room. Did Belichick give an indication?
No, I don't believe that was the case.
Okay.
Bill Belichick wanted him to be on that staff. And so I don't think Bill knows how much longer he wants to. I mean, it's a tough question. Look, he's going to be 66 years old next season. The one thing I could tell you is I believe he's got beyond this year left on his contract. So whether that's 2 years, 3 years, I don't know the exact answer. I really don't. Very few people outside the Crafts and Bill Belichick do. They keep that very closely guarded. But my understanding is there's multiple years left. I would guess 2 or 3.
Mm-hmm.
And so Bill's going to coach this year. And I think when you get to be that age, which is an age that most coaching legends didn't even make it to, and he's still got all the energy and excitement and enthusiasm for that job that anyone half his age has, it's a year-to-year proposition. And you see how you feel after each year. Could he, after next year, say, I'm done, I'm moving? Yeah, I guess he could do that. Could he coach in New England 3, 5? Yeah, I mean, anything's possible. And then that's why also I laugh at the people, Josh McDaniels committing, coaching suicide, not going to. What does that mean? You know what? A year or two from now, there might be a team that is in a situation where Josh McDaniels is the right guy for them at that time. You can't judge how you're feeling on the morning of February 7th.
I will beg to differ with you there, sir.
Okay, that's fine.
I will beg. I mean, come on.
So you're telling me that no team is ever going to hire him as a head coach ever again outside New England?
Hold on a minute. Let me try and not stutter. No team outside of New England will ever hire him as a head coach again. I mean, why would anybody go ahead and do that, Adam? Why would anybody go ahead and trust this guy? I mean, what happened right there? Unless they sign a contract on it. Look, I, as you know, I'm not one of those broadcasters that what I'm saying is absolute. Of course, I could be wrong, but come on, who would want to take that shot on him ever again?
He has been courted before and spurned other teams, and they've continued to come back to him. So do I think that there'll be another team? Listen, again, as we're talking, I think the chances already remains in New England. The chances already remains in New England long term. So it becomes a moot point.
Yes.
But my point is, I think he's 41. I don't know, Rich, 5 years from now, how many times are teams in a head coaching bind? And if he's doing a great job, you're telling me 5 years from now that there's not going to be another team that's interested in hiring offensive mind, one of the top play callers in the game?
Well, they better get some sort of
okay, that's fine. That's fine.
Blood oath. I mean, right?
The Rich Eisen Show, weekdays at noon Eastern on Audience.